All right, welcome back to Lost for Words with Lori. It's Monday. It's another Manic Monday, September the 12th, 2022. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you all had a great weekend. It has been a pretty awesome week over here at the Heathen's Haven. It's been really cool having my brother from another mother visiting from out of state and being able to go out and do fun shit and just kind of hang out. It's been really cool. I can't lie about that. It's been really nice having somebody else around when you're used to just being in your own little bubble and not having a whole lot to do. But I hope everyone's doing well. Back at popular demand, I guess you could call it. A little more real talk about toxic cesspool world and the chaos and the circus that's become. So let's talk about scorekeeping. I mean, everybody loves a good game, right? I mean, we watch sports, we watch football games, people have rival teams that they like, and we give each other a lot of grief about whose team is better, and everybody loves a friendly competition, right? I mean, I don't have a problem playing, a particular card game or checkers or chess with one of my friends, and it's good, clean, competitive fun, and you win some, you lose some, and you accept that somebody bested you and it's okay, because it's friendly competition. But one of the things is that when we start getting into social media on the interwebs and all of the toxicity that's going on, friendly competition becomes toxic and it becomes damaging and it becomes a point of contention, because people want to score keep. And lately, a lot of the situations that have been coming up have been a lot of scorekeeping and gatekeeping about what other people are allowed and not allowed to do, based on emotional blackmail and holding people's shit over their head. And honestly, it's really fucking disgusting. I mean, it's okay to have your feelings about things, but you need to be mindful of how you treat others during the time that you're trying to resolve that. And people are going to disagree about a lot of things. But when something comes along and there's a big disagreement, we find people scorekeeping their relationships based on stupid things like, oh, well, I did this for you, and therefore you must comply with my wishes, or we can't be friends. I mean, that kind of scorekeeping is toxic, and it's not good for anybody. It's not good for your friendships. It's not good for your relationships. I mean, in a situation like that, nobody asked you to do anything. And so it's okay for you to just pull that out of your ass and be like, well, I did this for you because you're feeling some sort of way now. Not really cool, dude. I mean, that's a really weak flex. I mean, if you touch the stove and you get burned, you stop using the fucking stove, right? You order takeout, but you can't sit and bitch because, you don't have hot soup. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? And it happens so often within a world where something that shouldn't be competition becomes all of a sudden that the next person has to one up, and there's no tiebreaker. You sunk my battleship. I mean, what kind of fucking bullshit is that? And then people start telling other people that they aren't allowed to do them, or they aren't allowed to make their own choices because it makes you feel some sort of way. Okay, well, isn't that the way the world works? Right? But in toxic cesspool land, you've got to comply. You've got to do what other people tell you. You've got to drink the proverbial Kool-Aid, or you're going to be ousted. You're going to be blacklisted. I can't be your friend. You're not allowed to do this. It's a lot of people taking up a sword and trying to fight battles that aren't even theirs. And at some point, we all have to learn to let people resolve their conflicts without being the fucking enforcer. I mean, nobody asked you to do anything. And then you can run back and say, oh, well, if you're my friend, you'll listen to me, or I did this for you, so therefore I'm right. There's something really fishy about that kind of logic. And at what point do we tell people you aren't allowed to scorekeep my relationship, my friendship, or my loyalty with somebody just because we disagree? I find a lot of people getting really angry and getting some sort of feels about other people's choices, and then thinking they've got to one-up them and go out and react. And I've talked endlessly about the difference between reacting and responding. Yeah, it hurts, it sucks, and you might feel betrayed or you might feel angry because somebody else made a choice. But regardless of that, you don't get to just pull out all of these things and go, well, I did this and for you, and after everything I did for you, how dare you? Who the hell do these people think they are? They're not your mom, they're not your dad. They sure as fuck ain't the boss of me. And I don't care what I've done for other people. I've done a lot of things for a lot of people in my first world, in my second world, and in toxic cesspool world. And I didn't do it with the premise that I would get something back. I made a choice. I go on somebody's live stream and I donate to their good cause, and somebody doesn't like them or thinks that they're not doing it for the best of intentions. I made a choice. I let that money go to that person because it was my decision. And for anybody to get upset about that and tell me that that wasn't okay for me to do is unacceptable. And even if that person and I don't become friends, or not don't become friends, but become enemies maybe 15, days down the road after I've donated money, what kind of an asshole would it be for me to say, oh, well, I donated to your cause, so therefore you must? That makes me a pretty big dickhead. Friendly competition is a wonderful thing, but when it gets out of hand and you start using it as an excuse to hurt other people, and that kind of emotional blackmail and tantrums and acting like a 3-year-old because you didn't get your popsicle on time, or mom said I could have a popsicle before I went to bed. Well, if you behave badly and you don't get your popsicle, who the fuck do you have to blame? Sure as fuck ain't me, and sure as fuck ain't mom. Stop throwing your tantrum. People need to be allowed to resolve their conflicts in their way, and people, if you claim that you support somebody or you care about somebody, you're going to respect their decisions. And people make mistakes. They don't always handle conflicts the way that you think they should or the way that you would. But that doesn't mean that they're not allowed to resolve their own conflicts. If it's an A and B situation, see your fucking way out of it if it has nothing to do with you. And if you want to be supportive with your friends, ask them how you can support their decisions. Give them feedback on the best ways that you think you could handle it, and let them think about it. Stop the fucking scorekeeping, dudes. It's ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, you only have to answer to yourself. You need to be accountable for your behavior and not push off your perceptions of the way people need to handle their shit just because you don't agree with it. So have a great week, everybody. That's all I gotta say about that. Remember, as always, wash your fucking hands. Be a good human. See you next time.